Hello and welcome back as we continue our discussing of CSA concepts, this time talking about Amazon CloudWatch for the security architect. So, an important thing to know is that any requests are signed with an HMAC SHA-1 signature calculated from the request and the user's private key. CloudWatch Control API is only accessible via SSL encrypted endpoints. And CloudWatch access is given via IAM permission policies, essentially giving users permissions that are only needed, meaning we only give access to CloudWatch if that user needs access to CloudWatch. And this goes back to the principle of least privilege. And as we know, all AWS services require AIM permission policies in order for users to access them. You can also use CloudWatch and CloudTrail to monitor changes inside the AWS environment, and this is specific for security. We can ask CloudWatch to notify us via SNS if there have been changes, for example, changes to IAM security credentials, or assigning access policies to users, or adding or deleting users. So CloudTrail will monitor any API calls made within our AWS environment, and CloudWatch can be set to trigger an SNS topic to alert us of any of those changes that CloudTrail detects. So it is important to know how we can use CloudWatch for security in our AWS environment. And just like the example that I just talked about, you can integrate or combine CloudWatch with CloudTrail and SNS for security in the AWS environment. And with that, we will conclude this lesson. Thank you for watching. You may now move on.